Welcome to ARC Minnesota's Social Security 101 webinar. Today's presenters are Guthrie Byard, advocate for the ARC Minnesota, and Ginda Lee, also an advocate for the ARC Minnesota. Our objectives today are to give you all an overview of the ARC Minnesota, our Social Security advocacy work, explain the two Social Security disability benefit programs and how they differ, and review how to apply for both programs. The ARC Minnesota's mission is to promote and protect the human rights of people with developmental disabilities, actively supporting them and their families in a lifetime of full inclusion and participation in their communities. And we promote and protect the human rights of this community by providing free advocacy and information referral services across a host of topic areas. We also offer planning services for those seeking a detailed person-centered planning process to help individuals and their families identify a path forward towards inclusion and participation in all aspects of an individual's life. The ARC Minnesota owns and operates 5 thrift stores known as ARC's Value Village. These stores employ people with disabilities and financially support the work of the ARC Minnesota. Find out more about these stores at our website. So ARC Minnesota's Social Security advocacy work. So it's important to mention first off what type of support we don't offer. So we do not have the capacity to attend interview or appeal hearings or formally or legally represent people during the appeals process. We do, however, explain the application and appeals process and provide folks with the knowledge, tools, and resources to confidently navigate the system of disability benefits. SSI and SSDI. Both of these programs are easily confused with each other, but they are very different. Supplemental Security Income, or SSI, is for those with disabilities who have low income and may or may not have worked. There is no requirement for work to get SSI. Social Security Disability Insurance, or SSDI, is for those with a work history who cannot work due to disability. Rarely do we support people applying for SSDI, as nearly all advocacy we provide is around applying for SSI. A little more on SSDI and the online application process. When applying for either SSDI or SSI, the online application is the same. For those seeking SSI, SSDI will be ruled out and quickly if there's not work history. One concern shared with the ARC Minnesota is that the online application incorrectly ends eligibility determination for SSI after determining that someone is not eligible for SSDI. Individuals have contacted the ARC Minnesota to say they got a denial letter for SSDI and were confused because they were actually applying for SSI. That said, some folks are eligible for both programs, and it's known as concurrent benefits. This is where you've worked just enough to get a small SSDI amount and are eligible for SSI to supplement that amount up to the maximum SSDI amount, or SSI amount of $750. You are also eligible to get Medicare after 2 years of receiving SSDI. RSDI. Occasionally we will support someone who is wondering about RSDI. RSDI stands for Retired Survivors Disability Insurance. For those with disabilities, if they are a child of someone who retires or who has passed away, they could be eligible for an RSDI amount as long as their disability occurred before the age of 22. To be eligible for what is also known as the Disabled Adult Child Benefit, one of your parents must be receiving an SSDI or RSDI payment or have passed away and worked long enough under Social Security to qualify for that Disabled Adult Child Benefit. You can also receive that benefit if you were disabled before turning 18 and were receiving benefits on your parent's Social Security earnings record known as dependents benefits. Some people have RSDI and SSI because, again, the RSDI amount is below that SSI maximum benefit of $750. Know that there's a 5-month delay in getting an RSDI benefit, but someone who is eligible for SSI can receive that benefit going back to the month they applied. Now Ginda Lee will discuss SSI eligibility and present the second half of the presentation.
SSI eligibility. Anyone regardless of age can be eligible for SSI, but you must meet Social Security's definition of disability, meaning you must be able to show medical reports to support your disability. The Social Security Administration goes by a Blue Book. The Blue Book lists all the disabilities and requirements. Social Security focuses on a functional limitation, therefore a diagnosis may not always be sufficient. Your condition must be expected to last at least a year. Social Security also looks at your resources and income. You must have under $2,000 of resources and meet income requirements. If the individual is working, Social Security uses an equation that counts a little less than half of their income. If you are applying for a child, it may be a little bit more complex when looking at household income. Generally, if income for the applicant, who is an adult, is above $1,180, that person is considered to be gainfully employed and less likely to get a benefit. However, since Social Security counts less than half of your income, you could possibly have gross or pre-tax income up to $1,500 and still get a benefit, because not all of it is counted as income by Social Security. We recommend you use the SSI estimator on the db101.org website or call your local Social Security office to better understand income eligibility for children and adults. Note that the maximum monthly benefit in 2018 is $750 for an individual and $1,125 for couples. SSI Living Arrangements. It is common for individuals who receive SSI to live with a family member or parents. Usually when living with family or parents, they help with food and shelter costs. Unless you can prove that all food and shelter costs covered by the SSI benefit, 1/3 of the benefit will be removed. Individual would typically receive $500 instead of the full benefit. If the person does not plan to live with parents or family members, you should indicate that during the application process or during the in-person or telephone interview. Let them know that some of the food and shelter costs will be covered, and also keep your receipts. Child SSI application process. Here are the steps to take when completing a child SSI application process. First, review the ARC Guide to SSI, which can be found at arcminnesota.org. Review your income and resource limits. Call your local Social Security office to clarify income and resource guidelines. Fill out the online child disability report. There is a link to it at the ARC Guide to SSI. Call Social Security office to set up an in-person appointment to complete the application. For your local Social Security office phone number, feel free to call the ARC at 952-920-0855 or toll free at 833-450-1494. Adult SSI application process. For the adult application process, again, review the ARC Guide to SSI, review your income and resource limits, and Social Security's Blue Book. Again, this book lists in detail all the different types of disabilities and requirements. It is also linked to the ARC Guide to SSI. Call your local Social Security office to set up an in-person appointment. Complete the Adult Disability and Functions Report before your scheduled meeting. These are linked, again, these are all linked to the ARC Guide to SSI as well. Tips. Here are some tips before applying for SSI. Gather all your paperwork in advance, such as the applicant's birth certificate, income proofs, and their Social Security card. Make a contact list of doctors, clinics, paid providers, and how often they are seen. Notify teachers, personal care assistance providers, county staff that they may be questioned. Get the name and contact information of all Social Security representatives you talk to. It will be a good idea to date when you spoke to them. SSI eligibility determination. Here's a little bit on what to expect after submitting your SSI application. Be aware it may take a while. Social Security will look at all the information you sent and call and confirm with all the contacts you listed. If approved, you will get an award letter, which states the determination and benefit amount. Use the letter if you apply for medical assistance. If you do apply, make sure to use the application for certain populations. Representative payee. It is common for parents to become representative payees. Rep payees are individuals who have managed the funds. You will be given a guide to individual rep payee. Please follow the guidelines to make sure you understand how to set up your accounts or have questions. You can also call your local Social Security office. Denials. If you do get denied, it's okay. Social Security uses a complex process to review your application and supporting documents. What you can do is appeal. Do not reapply. The appeal process involves 4 levels. Reconsideration. This is the first level of the appeals process and consists of an appeal form with the ability to submit additional supporting documents you may have forgotten or new information like a new evaluation. This document can be mailed, dropped off, or submitted online. A link to this form is provided in the ARC Guide to SSI. Hearing by administrative law judge. If you're denied a second time, you may ask for a hearing in front of an administrative law judge who have no part in the original decision. Appeals counsel. If you disagree with the hearing decision, you may ask for a review from the appeals counsel. They will review the decision again and make the decision on their own. You will be contacted by mail. Federal court. If you disagree with the appeals counsel, you may file a lawsuit in a federal district court. The ARC Minnesota has put together a list of legal support services that may be helpful if you appeal beyond the reconsideration phase. Call the ARC Minnesota 952-920-0855 or toll free 833-450-1494. Some people who are on Social Security might be overpaid if income information is not submitted in a timely and correct manner. If you get an overpayment notice, you have 60 days to appeal using the waiver of overpayment form. Please contact the ARC Minnesota for additional information on appealing in these instances. Thank you everyone for watching. If you have any questions, please contact the ARC Minnesota at 952-920-0855 or toll free at 833-450-1494 or go to the arcminnesota.org to access our ARC Guide to SSI. That guide discusses additional topics and provides more information than presented here. Thanks for watching.